It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. It's going to fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. Those that are not following the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High. The anger of the Most High shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days, when the last days, y'all, ye shall consider it perfectly. Let's go up to verse 1. Woe me, destruction be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. Said the Most High, and he's screaming at you, pastors out there, that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. That's why he said in, hold that, go to Hosea 4 and 6. Now you tell me this don't fit the pastors in a lot of these secular churches, or the ones calling themselves pastors, and he sent destruction to you. There's a reason why. And you think about what they say and what the word says. You don't take a rocket science to figure this out. Hosea 4 and 6. Hosea 4 and 6. My people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So are they really getting knowledge up in these churches? Or these precepts? Listen. My people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. So all you that don't want to study, all you that don't want this knowledge, you find some other way to be able to think that you're going to be able to get there. You're still in a Christian type of mindset. As Christians, what? They don't study the Bible. They don't study these precepts. Ask them what's handle the Bible. If they hand you the Bible, you can't really bring nothing out. Something wrong. Something's wrong, y'all. You better bring something out. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's what this is about. You're not taking hours and hours of going through all of this to reach out to ones that's going to hear this, and you that don't do it, you think this is something I'm just doing, or that we just doing, as the true pastors of the Most High, bringing forth these precepts? Better hear it and forbear. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Bunch of rejects to the Most High. Thou shalt be no priest to me, or no pastors, no priest to the Most High. Why? Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. You have forgotten the law of your power. I will also forget thy children. I'll forget your children. That's why it's very important that we follow what it is that the Most High told us to do as a people. Because if you're a Gentile, you're not the Most High's people. If you think you're of all these other nations, if you think that you are grafting in among some other nation, don't even consider you, period. And don't even consider Romans 11 chapter where you get that from. When it's you, it's us as the children of Israel, that anybody else going to be grafted in to learn what it is that we know and not what they know. That's what we just read. Gentiles sacrifice to what? Devils. He don't want you to have fellowship with devils. You cannot drink the cup of the Most High and the cup of devils. And that's what a lot of people have done. They're drinking the cup of devils. And teaching the children the same thing, to drink the cup of devils. And not understanding this truth. They got to know this truth, y'all. You got to know it, and it's got to be taught to everyone. He said you're going to be a bunch of rejects, he said. Why? Because you have forgotten the law of our power. We just read. The law endure it forever. You keep the law, you come to life. You leave the law, you're going to die. Point blank. Back to these pastors. Jeremiah 23:1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Most High. Therefore, thus saith the Most High, power of Israel. You can say, you think you can say the power of every nation? Show me that in the Bible. He said he the power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. You feeding the people what? What it is that your mind and your theologian school have taught you to teach the people. The same thing. That's not thus say the Most High's word. Therefore, thus say the Most High, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock. You hear that? First and foremost, they scatter brain. Handle the Bible and say, talk to me. If they can't, something's wrong. I remember people went to church, say, what did the pastor teach on? I don't know, but the choir shows sound good. They always talk about the music. But they don't never talk about what the pastor talked about. Like, you should know from this lesson that we talking about power of the Most High bringing forth the storms, the tornadoes, the earthquakes, the fire, the hurricanes and the tornadoes, all that. Tidal waves, all that. We've covered all that. It's the Most High. But nobody giving him praise as to what it is that he's doing. It's sad, man. That's why these pastors that call themselves pastors of the secular world of Christianity and religions and so forth, they're not teaching the people the total truth. That's why it says, therefore thus said the Most High, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, said the Most High. See? Now what you gonna do when he come for you? What you have to say to him? We need to take the time to really look at, and it's not like we in no corner no more. Because we everywhere you could be able to learn. If you want to learn, you could be able to be taught. Like we all were taught. Everyone that, don't care what position you have in this world, you're going to come and sit down and learn the truth just like everybody else. It don't matter about what you have or what you think, what status you have. You heard what the Most High just said. He going to kill you. He just said, woe means destruction unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Most High. He going to kill you. It's sad, but it's real. Look at verse 9. It says, mine heart is mine, within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine hath overcome, because of the Most High, and because of the words of his holiness. For the land is full of adulterers. See? That all that's happening up in the church. Adultery. Pastors going with this man's woman. This woman going with this man's. Adulterers. Know she got a man. Know she got a husband. Sleeping with the pastor. Sleeping with the deacons. For the land is full of adulterers. Even outside the church, it's going on. Those that even go to church, those that know the truth, still being adulterers. For because of swearing, the land mourneth. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up. This is a wilderness. America ain't nothing but a wilderness. And their course is evil. And their force is not right. For both prophet and priest are profane. Hear that? Both prophet and priest are profane. Yeah. In my house have I found their wickedness, said the Most High. That's why he said to you in verse 1, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Most High. So when you do these things, they think it's okay. Because you're supposed to be a man of status. But both, verse 11, but both prophet and priest are profane. Yeah, in my house have I found their wickedness, said the Most High. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein. He already said he's going to destroy you. For I will bring evil upon them. Hear that? The only way the rest are going to bring evil upon someone is they're doing evil. And you bring evil upon yourself. He said, I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, said the Most High. Say. For all you out there that's dealing with all these pork chop eating preachers, Jeremiah 23:16, thus say the Most High power of hosts, of armies, of angels, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain, you hear that? They make you worthless. Okay, if that's not the case, then bring forth your understanding from what this Bible is talking about. And not just running your mouth, but precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Because this is what we're dealing with. The wrath of the Most High. He said, going to consider when? In the latter days. That's where we at now. You can consider it perfectly. If you can't see what the Most High is doing, and like I said, watch and see how soon he visits again. He's visiting now. Fire on the West Coast. Water on the East Coast. Don't fire and water cleanse. He's going to destroy this place, though. As it is written, it's going to be just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Nobody going to live here. Verse 16, thus say the Most High power of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets and that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. You know? So that's why I say when you look at coming to the knowledge of the truth and you changing, a lot of you that come from this worldly, secular church environment, regardless of what religion it is, you got to start all over again. Because you're trying to integrate your way of thinking as whatever religion you came coming from into the truth. Most have, and most have always failed. They have left, and they have not seen the success that the Most High would have you to have in following the truth. This is real. There's always something that the Most High will bring to the table that they look at. If they ever get a chance to look back at it and say, wow, man, I should remain where I was at. But no, they went another way. They continue this way. And they'll look back at this way and say, oh, it's a cult or it's something different. But it is the way. Myself shall say, I'm the way. Show you how to follow the truth, which is the laws of the Most High. That's going to lead to everlasting life. And he said, no man come to the Father but by me. So a lot of people know certain scriptures, but they don't know how to precept from the point of what he's saying. Or any verse. There's always scriptures that go from a verse to you can take a whole chapter and just precept it 3 hours or whatever. I've done it. All praise to the Most High. But you can understand through the precepts. That's why you be reading precepts. They go, oh no, you got to read it. They talk to read it from Genesis to Revelation. Just read it all like this. No, you don't read it like that. It's not like that. It's not written like that. Because I wouldn't have books after books and notebooks and all the things that I have. And behind me, you see right behind me, those are different lessons of TV shows and so forth. I wouldn't have all that if that was the case. You read the Bible once and that's it. Go to the Bible once, read all the verses of the Bible, and that's it. No. This is giving you instructions. That's why I say, thus say the Most High Power of hosts, hearken, listen, not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain, you hear that? They make you vain, they make you worthless in the eyes of the Most High. They speak a vision of their own heart. They speak a vision of their own mind. And not out of the mouth of the Most High. Because you're going to speak out of the mouth of the Most High, it's going to be precept upon precept. Period. They say still unto them that despise me, the Most High have said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto every one that walketh after the imaginations of his own heart, imaginations of his own mind, no evil shall come upon you. That's why Ecclesiastes 3:24, but many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion is overthrown their judgment. You know? That's why I say, they make you vain because you still have the same mindset that you had as a Christian or whatever religion you were in. You still have the same mindset, but now you call yourself an Israelite, but you still got the same mindset and belief in what you were taught by the same ones that it says in verse 1, woe, destruction, be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Most High. You still have that same mind of destruction. And your scattered brain. Because your brain can't comprehend enough time to stop, to hear what it is you need to hear to change. While you're walking after your own imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you. But what the Most High say? Amos 9 and 10. Well, you see all these things happening. You see our people is involved in the things that's happening too. All the sinners, all those that break the laws of the Most High, of my people, of the 12 tribes of Israel, shall die by the sword, he said. Which say, the evil shall not overtake, nor prevent us. He's going to kill you too. Because they teach you ain't under the law, so most of you don't know the laws. So therefore, when this judgment come, what you going to do when he come for you? Because he's going to get the pastor and the flock. Because the pastor is teaching what he's teaching, and the people regurgitate what he says. Handle the Bible, they can't show you where it's in the Bible, but they know what he's saying. They regurgitate certain things. Look. Excuse me. We have an opportunity. And our opportunity is very small, but we still have an opportunity. It's not vast, because let me show you. And what are we dealing with? What are the two things that's mainly we see on this earth right now that's destroying everything? There's two elements that the Most High is using. That he's leaving behind that we can see right now. Excuse me. Bear with me. I'm changing Bibles because they wore out. Some of them is, that's my main source, but they wore out. So like you. Second Ezra, 7th chapter. And we're gonna look at verse 7. It says, "The entrance thereof to New Jerusalem is narrow, and to the kingdom is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall." A dangerous place to fall. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left, a deep water. That's why there's two elements that the Most High is leaving behind. Is what? Fire and water. I seen as we before we started our class, I was playing footage of certain places that they were talking to the people, interviewing the people, and they were saying they never seen nothing like this. Whole freeways is full of water, almost up to the bridge. You know how they have the bridges that go across the freeway? The water is almost up there and not descending anywhere. And the pumps that they brought don't work. So they got to wait for that water to dissipate, evaporate, go somewhere. Water's busted through walls like never before. I mean, it just came like they said they weren't prepared for that much water. But see, the interests that we dealing with and make it to the kingdom is what? Is where a fire on the right hand, you got fire on the right hand, and on the left, a deep water. Deep water so deep that you can drown. So he got fire, he got water, and what else the Most High is dealing with? Let's go over to 2 Ezra 8:21. It says, let's read verse 22. It says, "Whose service, the Most High's service, is conversant in wind and fire." Hear that? So we got fire, we got water, and we got wind. Are you with me? The Most High is conversant in wind and fire. He got a conversation for you. So can you hear his conversation as he's conversing with us with that wind of that hurricane, that wind of the tornadoes? You notice how the hurricane comes, tornadoes is landing down, and those are wind. He's conversing, he's talking to you. Can you hear him though? Or you gonna say it's Mother Nature, or you gonna say it's global warming, or you gonna say it's La Nina or El Nino or Mother Nature? What you gonna say? Besides who it is. Whose service is conversant in wind and fire, whose word is true and sayings constant, whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful. Oh yeah. When he come for you, that fear come on people. That's why I'm letting you know. Once again, 2 Ezra 7:7. The entrance thereof is narrow to this kingdom, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. You hear that? This ain't no easy task, y'all. It said it is set in a dangerous place to fall. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left, a deep water. And one only path between them both. One only path between them both. Even between the fire and the water. So small that there could but one man go there at once. And all of us gonna meet that judgment one at a time. Only one person can go through at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? You hear that? So that's why I said, in your affliction, you will seek me early. So we ain't getting around it. You ain't getting around or away from the danger that's set before it. But we want it to be smooth and lovey and dandy. No. You hear what he said? If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance, his inheritance? How you receive this inheritance? If you don't receive and look at the dangers that's set before it, you got to walk in a straight path. It's a narrow way that only you can walk through it. It's only big enough for you to pass through. Can't nobody else come with you. You can't take your mama, your daddy, your uncles, your aunts, your niece, your cousins, your nephews, nobody. Your friends, your loved ones. It's only you can go through. You got fire on one side. You got deep water on the other side. And no land to be seen. And you got to go through the danger. And I said, it is so, Most High. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. Because for their sakes, the children of Israel, I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes by eating of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that he told him not to eat of, then was the decree that now is done. Then were the interests of this world made narrow. When he ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, then were the interests of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. It wasn't supposed to be this way. But when we did that, the interests of this world was made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils, that's dangers, and very painful. For the interests of the elder world were wide and sure. The elder world was wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. You understand? You came on this earth, you live forever. That's what we wait. We working to be able to have immortality. Us being immortal, if I might say. But he made it in the beginning. You understand? That's why I say when people look at Adam did this and Eve did that, they knew that the Most High, look what we said, for the interests of the elder world that Adam and Eve were in, the Adamites, I might say, were wide and sure and brought immortal fruit, living forever. What we had to go through, all we going through, to go back to this immortal fruit, living forever. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. See? We got to labor to deal with the straight and vain things and overcome. Not by our vain opinions and our vain or evil judgments, but by what the will of the Most High would be in doing what he would have you to do, because he already instructed us through his rules and regulations. There's no excuse for not knowing. We're in the last days. Now therefore, why disquietest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? You say, why don't you think? Why you ain't thinking about what we looking at going to happen in our time and have happened in our time? Because this is before Ezra, long before Ezra. But he's given all the past, the present, and the future, because we had lost the law. And the Most High gave it back to Ezra. 124 more books than what we have. 204 books to be exact. We only have 80. Then answered I and said, O Most High, that beareth rule, thou hast ordained in thy law, that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the unrighteous should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things, and hope for wide. See, we're going to suffer straight things, and we're going to hope for the wide of immortality. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. You hear that? So you're not going to see immortality if you wicked and doing the things that's against the Most High's laws. And he said unto me, there is no judge above the Most High, and none that have understanding above the highest. But there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. I'll read you again. But there be many that perish, that's going to die in this life, in the life that we live in now, because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. For the Most High has given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live. Like you hearing, the law endureth forever. They that keep it shall come to life. They that leave it shall die. We just read that in Baruch 4 and 1 and 2. Even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. See, nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him. We broke the Most High's laws, but spake against him and imagined vain things. Oh yeah. And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways. But his law have they despised. Don't that sound familiar? Even today. He says the law of the Most High have they despised, and denied his covenants. It's talking to us, Israelites. Covenants made with who? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel. In his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. That's why we are in the condition that we're in now. Look, go to verse 59. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life. Choose thee life, that thou mayest live. And we know they that keep the laws of the Most High gonna come to life. They that leave it shall die. So he telling us, hey, keep the commandments of the Most High, choose life, and you live. Nevertheless, they believe not him, nor yet the prophets after him, no, nor me, which have spoken unto them. That there should not be such heaviness in their destruction, as shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation. If you keep the Most High's rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments. I answered then and said, I know, Master, that the Most High is called merciful. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve, y'all. Many a times he showed us mercy, in that he have mercy upon them which are not yet come into the world. Here, that's us. We had not come into the world, and he have mercy upon us. The Israelites, only the Israelites. And upon those also that turn to his law. You know? You got mercy unto those that turn to his law. But he taught you're not under the law. So what a mercy and grace going to come to those that say that we're not under the Most High's law? We don't have to follow his rules and regulations. Where's that going to come from? if thou might save. And upon those also that turn to his law, and that he is patient and long suffereth those that have sinned as his creatures, and that he is bountiful, for he is ready to give where it needed, and that he is of great mercy, for he multiplieth more and more mercies to them that are present and that are past, and also to them which are to come, which is us, coming on this earth. For if he shall not multiply his mercies, the world would not continue with them that inherited therein. And he pardoneth. For if he did not so of his goodness, that they which have committed iniquities or sins might be eased of them, the 10,000th part of men should not remain living. Wow. 10,000th part of men should not remain living. And being judged, if he should not forgive them that are cured with his word, you hear that? You're cured with his word. If you are studying his word, you understand his word, and put out the multitude of contentions. You know, he put out the multitude of contentions. There should be very few left, peradventure, perhaps, in an innumerable multitude. There will be very few left. That's why he said in 2 Corinthians 8:3, there be many created, but few shall be saved. Many created, but few shall be saved. And we're going to be part of the ones that's going to be saved. Look at 2 Corinthians 9 and 31. This is very important. I'm here in the spirit because a lot of us that's rolling in this way is not going to have to deal with a lot of things that the world is going to deal with in that danger. 2 Corinthians 9:31. Most High will. For behold, I sow my law in you. Hear that? He said, behold, I sow my law in you, and it shall bring fruit in you. And ye shall be honored in it forever. So it's not something that you're going to just take lightly. If you're going to be honored in the law that the Most High said he sowed his law in us, and we're going to be honored in it, in the law of the Most High forever. But our fathers which received the law kept it not, and observed not thy ordinances. And though the fruit of thy law did not perish, neither could it, for it was thine. That's you understand. It's the Most High. It tells you that the Most High wrote these laws with his finger. And here people are saying that we're not under it. We don't have to follow it. And that's hurtful to the Most High. Why you bringing that rap? You're going to bring that rap, that judgment on. It cannot. I mean, that's like, how can it perish something that he did? He did this. Look, it says, in verse 32, it says, and though the fruit of thy law did not perish, the benefits of the law did not perish. You keeping the law, those who kept the law, he didn't make them suffer behind keeping the law when we were in our own habitation and so forth. And even in captivity, when we challenged the authority of them trying to make us break the law, and we kept the law, they seen the miracles of the Most High happen. Like with Daniel. He was thrown in the lion's den. The lions didn't touch him. And his three partners thrown in the fire. Fire didn't touch them. There's no smell of smoke on them. And though the fruit of thy law did not perish, neither could it, for it was thine. It was the Most High's. When people talk about we know the law, they saying, hey, we ain't got to follow you, Most High. He the one that created these laws. He the one took the time to give it to us. There's no excuse for you not knowing them. No excuse. That's sinning willfully. For all of us that hear my voice, and I've told you many times how you learn the laws. I'm going over the laws. I'm going over Leviticus, Exodus, and Deuteronomy. And we review them ourselves. Any questions? No questions. So you're supposed to know. Ain't no excuse. Look at verse 33. It says, yet they that received it perished, because they kept not the thing that was sown in them. Because they perished because they kept not the law that was sown in them. And lo, it is a custom, when the ground has received seed, or the sea a ship, or any vessel, meat or drink, that being perish wherein it was sown or cast into, that thing also which was sown or cast therein or received does perish, and remaineth not with us. But with us it have not happened so. With we the children of Israel, it has not happened so. For we, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, that have received the law, perish by sin. See that? We received the law, and we perish because we sin against the Most High. In our heart, which is your mind, also which received it. Notwithstanding, the law perishes not, but remaineth in his force. So how you gonna allow somebody to tell you that the law, we're not under the law? When it says, once again, notwithstanding, verse 37, the law perishes not, but remaineth in his force. So these are the things that we got to look at and meditate on, because the Most High is visiting. And everybody's not going to perish. And those that are applying the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments in their life, and not going some other way, or being persuaded another way, you can see this kingdom. And you don't have to deal with the things that's going to happen on this earth. I've seen the world stand still and be like this. And I was wrong. Am I actually driving? All praise to the Most High. I'm going to do, I want to open up just a talk of testimonies. I'm going to do that once these holy days are past. Where people can come on and just give testimonies of how the Most High showed up and showed out. You know? Testimonies of that we can really give him praise and glory for the things that he's done. Miracles. Because a lot of people don't believe in miracles. But you got to understand, a lot of things are happening right now. And people are looking at it in a certain way because it hasn't affected you. But when he comes for you, and the things that you see happening with the people that's it affecting, that come your way, hopefully the Most High will detour it from us.